Live from Los Angeles, it's the Master Debater with Phil Varone. Tonight's guest, comedian Allison Weber, model, actress, and sober house manager Jennifer Jimenez, and a true living legend, Leif Garrett.
Hi, how you doing? Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Master Debater with Phil Varone. I am Phil Varone, of course. This is our pilot show. I'm so happy to be here. And I know what you're thinking. How did they give the drummer a TV show? Well, here, I have my own. Give it up over there for Rocky, of course.
Hello. Thank you.
And, of course, DJ Image. Come on, give it up over there.
Yeah.
There he is. But I have a great show lined up for you tonight. And as you know, I'm on Facebook and I'm just talking shit and you guys yell at me and all that fun stuff. So I decided to do it to the masses now, and I brought my friends to do it with me. And I'd like to introduce them. Of course, one of my good friends, a very funny comedian and a marijuana activist, Allison Weber, right here. Come on. Clap, clap, clap.
Phil.
Oh, I'm lovely. How you doing?
I'm fabulous. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for doing this. This is going to be fun. And of course, one of my good friends, the lovely Leif Garrett, everyone. Come on. Yes. And of course, right here to my right, my immediate right, we've done some shows together. We did a Today show and all this fun stuff and have a funny story about meeting in the airport. But the lovely from Sober House, Jennifer Jimenez. So I want to talk about a few things, and I don't want to get too political, and I don't want to get too religious about stuff because it gets way too heated.
Yeah,
so
right,
I want to talk about other stuff that's very important. Well, whatever. But one of the things I want to do that I do want to talk about is legalizing marijuana, because in Los Angeles, this is going to be in November. It's going to be on the ballot to legalize marijuana. I do not smoke pot, so I don't care either way. Like I'm just going to, my opinion on it is that it should be legalized, without a doubt. I mean, I'm a.
How can you not have an opinion on it, though?
Yeah.
I mean, you must.
No, what I'm saying is that I'm not like, okay, because I smoke pot so much that I want it legal, because I don't go out of my way to try to find it.
Right.
But I think that it should be legalized.
Yeah, I have a family member right now who's in the fourth stage of very serious cancer, and it's something that helps.
Yeah.
And it's there's no reason for it not to be. First of all, it's all natural. Second of all, if they've got these dispensaries too, why wouldn't they want to tax it?
Right.
I mean, I'm
right now.
Right. I mean, I think the problem is that the government's thinking if they tax it, then it becomes a viable thing, a legitimate thing like cigarettes and whatnot, and they don't want that to happen. But it's going to happen anyway. It's inevitable. It's already, the foot's in the door. You know what I mean?
Well, let me just say this. Let me give you some facts real quick to let you understand what's happening with this stuff. As far as the marijuana enforcement, which is where the money is going. So it says that state and local justice costs marijuana arrests are about $7.6 billion a year is what it cost us for marijuana. And the way I look at $7.6 billion, we're talking about all this money that we don't have in a country, and especially in California. We're broke, California, and we could save money.
Completely.
Yeah, it's approximately $10,400 per arrest. The funny part about it is that most of the arrests are possession charges. Oh, yeah. It's not about these people that have these gigantic.
They're trying to sell it or trying to bring it around schools. I mean, come on, man. Personal use.
Now, Allison, she works in a dispensary. You know a lot about marijuana.
I work at a collective in Sherman Oaks called Daddies, and basically a collective is a group of patients form or that are
you had it until then.
that are cooperatively cultivating marijuana for one another and their health needs. When it comes down to it, you got to get to the main of where this all started. It was demonized in the 30s because it was going to affect big business. That is where it all boils down to. So where it comes to exactly when it all comes down to it, hemp was going to produce better paper, produce better fabrics, better everything.
Our Constitution is written on hemp. Our Bill of Rights is written on hemp.
Oh, yes.
Rope, lamp oil, hemp is America was founded on hemp, man. We need it for sales, for everything.
But that was going to affect money, and what's the main thing in this country is greed and money. So
basically,
we got to win over now. The Bible Belt is the main area that is still thumping on that idea.
Well,
And that's the problem.
What's it? Reefer madness. They
Exactly.
still think that like somebody's saying,
Exactly.
I'm going to go crazy and rape women.
Yeah.
And when it comes down to it, I'm a patient for a medical reason. I have 2 herniated discs in my back. They prescribe me Norco, Valium, Percocet, all these different kind of things for my pain that some jerk concocted, you know what I mean, and sold it to Pfizer. Pfizer puts their name on it, and I'm taking it and I'm hoping that it's going to cure my pain. It doesn't. It gives you an opiate response, and that's the only thing. Whereas marijuana, you see, it's growing from the ground. Nobody's changing anything about it. And a common misconception is that all marijuana is going to make you have a similar reaction. It's not true.
Yeah.
There are different strains that will do different things to you. So you have a person who's suffering from anxiety or headaches. They'll smoke something like a sativa strain of cannabis, and that helps with more of like a euphoric kind of a head change. It will make calm people maybe more anxious, but makes anxious people less. It's kind of like with Ritalin in children. You know what I mean? Like you give Ritalin to kids because they're too speedy, so you give them speed and it kind of counteracts that. Same idea. I will smoke an indica because that's good for your body. People who have pain and nausea problems do that.
I have a question. So if it gets passed in November, are people going to have that kind of information? Like, are they really going to get down and dirty with it? Like, I get it for people who are really sick and need it.
Information is available now.
But people don't have that resource to really, or make that time to find the resource to understand what legalizing marijuana would do, and like what would make high people that get high down, and down people that get down up.
Exactly.
You know?
I'm glad you're saying that because
yeah.
Jamie Dry J wants to know what your sources are for the information that you're giving us right now, all your statistics and everything that you're saying.
My statistics are from the United States Government National Institute on Drug Abuse Bureau of Morality Statistics. That's
Mine
where I
are
got
from
mine
personal use.
And,
If you literally Google facts about marijuana, it will take you to the drugpolicy.org. And it gives you every single solitary bit of reference of where all these facts come from. I mean, they're facts. It's not hearsay. It's not people's opinions. These are facts. So when it comes down to it, you can find anything on the internet about it, for sure.
Now I have a question, another question regarding that. They say that addiction is hereditary. So if you do consume something, like if I were to go and consume some marijuana, I've been told over and over again by doctors that it wakes the beast again. Like I wouldn't want to jeopardize something. Not that I'm against marijuana for somebody else, the legalizing of it, but doesn't it wake the beast and like cause addiction for
if
people?
I may chime in, I've had to deal with other substances before that are extremely addictive. This is nothing like that. Marijuana is not like that at all. It's nothing like an opiate. It's nothing like a cocaine or even like a Xanax, Valium, whatever, any pharmaceutical. It is. If anything, it's even less addictive than like an alcohol.
Yeah.
It's actually proven it is less addictive.
Well,
it's a common misconception.
On that, I have another statistic, causes of death. Tobacco, 400,000. Alcohol, 100. All legal drugs, 20,000. This is yearly. Illegal drugs, 15,000. Caffeine, 2,000. Aspirin, 500. Marijuana, 0. Anybody in the audience have any? The highest cause of death is tobacco, 400,000 a year. Anybody want to chime in from the audience?
I mean, come on.
Right.
Pot is like nothing compared to what you would do when you're done.
I do want to say though, when I
right.
did smoke pot, I was paranoid and crazy. Like it got me really.
I think you smoked the wrong kind for your particular
Or too much.
personality and your particular chemical, whatnot.
Reaction.
It will, like I said, if you're a calm person, it will make you anxious. It'll make you paranoid. Whereas, if you were to smoke something, if you're a calm person, that is another calm kind of a body inducing. And let's also get this clearly: there are plenty of people out there who will smoke specifically to keep their mind focused on work. This is not something to just sit and eat Cheetos with. You know what I mean? It's like people will smoke a sativa to get more focused, calm kind of. I mean, I have a lot of channels that change in my brain a lot, so it actually kind of keeps all of my ideas in a nice, healthy order so I can speak calmly and clearly to people. A lot are in that same boat. So
Senior Shutter from the chat room is saying that he says that teenagers who start smoking marijuana before the age of 16 are 4 times more likely to become schizophrenic. And he says that's the startling conclusion of some of the world's top schizophrenia experts.
whose research is featured in the new.
Okay, so
and I'm not sure what that's DO stands for.
Let me say this: the problem I
reference.
have with most of this stuff is that for some reason, to me, going back to the kids, it always goes back to the kids is a bunch of bullshit because kids drink when they're 10 fucking years old, okay? Kids do drugs, kids have sex, kids do everything. So to say that we're going to legalize marijuana and then start this epidemic that kids are going to go run in the streets crazy is bullshit. I'm tired of fucking hearing about it. I'm a parent. You know, my daughter's going to be 18, I have a son that's 12. That's what it's, they're a part of the life is for parents to go, this is wrong and try to guide.
Exactly.
We can't do everything, but it's like the excuse of it's going to hurt the kids is just a bunch of bullshit. And I'm tired of people talking about it because bottom line is that we're broke. Okay, we're bailing out bankers that are screwing us over. We have no health care system. And bottom line is if we're spending all this money per year to arrest people for growing something and smoking it's ridiculous. And if you think that this is anything worse than alcohol, I mean, alcohol, bottom line, is the worst thing by far as far as a legal substance.
I'll bring up on the devil's advocate side of it. There is one issue I have that I'm worried about when we go for the full legalization is that the quality will be diminished. Once big major, no, I'm not even kidding with you. I'm not even kidding with you. It's going to be like Marlboro Kush, and it's going to be Camel OG, and they're going to mass produce it so much so where it's going to diminish the actual
effect what it
that you're getting.
was. Right.
Let me ask you this. Don't you think that because there's because it's illegal, it almost makes it like kind of more cool?
Cool, absolutely.
And once it is legal, who gives a shit at that point? I mean, do we really care anymore?
That's 50% of it.
Yeah, I mean, especially with kids, it's like,
right.
do we care? Oh, we can go buy pot at 7-Eleven. Who gives a fuck?
You should be able to buy a pack of 20 joints.
I mean, I'm thinking about when I was a kid. When I was 20, before I was 21, I was sneaking booze and I was doing everything. When I turned 21. I barely drank.
The idea
I was
is
screwing.
you're
You're absolutely right, Phil.
I did drugs for many years, and a drug addict is an addict, and we go through life in certain ways. And I missed work, and I screwed up and missed time. I don't think that adding. I think that we're trying to nurture people a little too much. We're human beings. Let us make the choice. And if we're going to screw up, we're going to screw up. I don't think that giving me pot, I'm not going to smoke it. So I don't care.
Well, but I know also that it's helping. Marijuana is helping a lot of people with cancer, with HIV, with. I mean, there's a lot of things that it is helping and benefiting people for. Personally, right now, I wouldn't be buying it just because I'm an addict and I'm in recovery.
Well, Sociology Geek wants to know if it's just pot that you're worried about legalizing or what you want to talk about, or what about all drugs?
No, because
I think the issue is
I think it's marijuana. Trust me,
the issue right now is just marijuana. But I mean, the more anybody says don't do it, the more people, especially young people, want to do it, want to try it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like if you think about like Amsterdam or Vancouver, the way things are going on there, they've got it under control. They know where everyone is who's using it. Yeah. It's not legal, but they know where people are using it, and they just kind of look the other way. We could do it that way, or we can make it legal and tax it and get rid of our deficit.
Speaking of drugs and addictions, let's move on to something that we know very well about. We're going to talk about addictions for a little bit. One being sex addiction, because I went through sex rehab with Dr. Drew, and who's a damn handsome man. But
I never had a crush on Dr. Drew.
I have, and
come on.
I'm kidding.
I've masturbated this
No, Amber Smith was my crush. But one of the things that's going on right now, and we're doing interviews nonstop about it, is this sex addiction moniker that everybody's like, there's no sex addiction, there's no addiction, none of that crap. But here's the thing. Now, there's so many celebrities now getting busted, right? So we have, and of course, because people are paying people, they're going to come out of the woods and then and say whatever. Yeah. So let's go to the age-old question: Is Tiger Woods a sex addict? Is Jesse James